Hello everyone, Onlydraven here again, and thank you very much for tuning in today's video. I'm gonna just kind of run one straight shot today, talk about a couple of different things. Right off the bat, I'd like to start by saying how sorry I am. I apologize that I haven't had a video out in close to a month at this point. Had a lot of odd stuff kind of go on in the past month, some of which I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the video. I actually had filmed one a couple of weeks ago to come out, but unfortunately the editing program that I used crashed and the files I was using got all corrupted and I lost all the footage that I filmed. So unfortunately, just with the time of day, I wasn't able to refilm that, and getting back to work schedule, I just never got to redo that one. So I'm going to try to get these back out again, regular again. I apologize, as I said, for the delay in video, but there's been a lot of odd stuff just been going on here lately. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Starting off, we're just going to go right into talking about numbers right off the bat. No pop-ups today. I'm just going to straight up say that I haven't had any change in my weight in the past month. I've gone up and down a pound, from week to week, but I've been floating right at the 195 pound mark. I've kind of hit a plateau there where I'm not continuing to lose at this point. And there are some factors to that I'm going to talk about as well, but I'm not horribly upset about that either. Like I said, I'm within 5 pounds of my goal weight, and I've lost close to 240 at this point. I mean, at that point, 5 pounds, basically not that big of a deal. If I didn't never lose another pound again, I'm okay with that. If I float right at this, being under 200 was really my goal. That was my big thing. 190 was the goal they set for me at the office, and I'm definitely going to still continue to try to get down to that, but being under 200 was my personal goal. From the very beginning, the very first video, my original goal was to hit 200 until we kind of fluctuated a bit in the doctor's office, but 200 was always my primary goal, and I'm under that at this point, and I'm very happy with that. I'm happy with the way I feel. I'm happy with the way I look. I'm happy with just pretty much everything about the whole process at this point. So, like I said, at this point, there hasn't been any change in my weight in the past month. Like I said, one week I may be a pound heavier, the next week a pound lighter. It's kind of bounced back and forth, and different things have contributed to that. One thing is, diet-wise, I have found, now at this point, March 29th was my surgery. It is now right at May 29th. So what, I'm 14 months post-surgery at this point. I am finding myself being hungrier again. For the longest time, I was never really hungry. But I am finding myself eating a bit more than I used to. And while I'm still eating the same type of foods that I haven't jumped back in eating pizzas and cheeseburgers and all that kind of crap. I haven't done that at all. I mean, more so than I did within my numbers, if you will. I haven't gone back to eating all that nasty stuff I did before. Not eating candy or drinking soda or any of that kind of stuff. I've not gone back to my old ways, if you will. But I do find I am eating a bit more during meals, and I am occasionally having a bit more of a snack, which is usually going to be a protein bar, something like that, pork rinds, beef jerky, the same stuff that I've always been eating. I'm just having it probably a little bit more often. So I'm sure that has affected my weight loss, which again has leveled me off. Second thing, it's caused me to eat a bit more. I'll be honest, I've always tried to be very honest in these videos about the entire process and everything that I've been going through, because a lot of you guys may use this as a point of reference for your own experience, and so I don't want to hide anything or anything. I've been dealing with a bit of depression here lately, for multiple different reasons. None of them really diet related, but I've been dealing with some lows, and so anytime you have that situation, motivation becomes a bit of an issue, which if you're in the spot that I was ever in where you needed to have one of these surgeries or you really wanted to, motivation was probably always something you've struggled with. So due to that, it's been very hard to really oomph myself to do a lot of things. I haven't really gone to the gym much anymore, although I have been working out in my yard a lot more. I've actually been really enjoying doing yard work. I've been taking on several yard projects and a little bit of landscaping and such out there. So I have been getting actually probably more physical exercise doing that than I have the few months prior to that. My gym membership ran out, and right now financially I'm just not in a place where I can really afford to get one right now. It's probably going to be a couple months before I can renew that. So I've been trying to stay active in my yard, cutting grass, weed eating, cutting limbs off trees, chopping up the wood. Plus, I said, plus some just general landscaping and cleaning up stuff. I've really been enjoying that. I'm enjoying getting outside. For the vast majority of my life, I avoided outside because I can't handle heat. Heat has always been my nemesis, but now I'm in the opposite boat. Our power bill is lower this month than it probably has ever been in the summer in my adult life. And mostly that's because I don't need the air conditioning on hardcore like I always did. In fact, I'm cold most of the time. I've actually used a space heater recently where the rest of the family has had the air conditioning on. And granted, I live in the basement. Heat rises, air comes down. It's colder down here than it is upstairs, which is why we got a house with a basement, because I wanted the cold. But it's actually been a little more cold at some days than even I expected or wanted it to be, but I have to keep the air conditioning on to keep the upstairs at an acceptable level. So going outside in the yard, not really a problem. You know, I'm still sweat a little bit and such, but nothing like I used to. It used to be the point I come in barely able to breathe. And I don't have that problem. Granted, my yard's nowhere near as big as the previous yards I had to cut many years ago, but I really enjoy working on the yard. Like I said, I got some projects that I'm looking at right now. I'm going to redo a front garden we have. The front of our house has like a center step, and then there's some little bushes on each side of it going the length of the house. And originally there was just like some type of like black tarp thing under there, and then those wood chips that you've seen. Wood chips. So I'm going to basically clean all that out, leave the bushes there. But I'm going to kind of put some fencing around it, get some of those little white stones and stuff, bring a little color into the yard, get some flowers, stuff. We've got an old busted up cement bird bath on the side of the house that's cracked. We've tried sealing it, but the cracks are just too much, so water leaks out of it. I'm going to turn that into a flower pot for the side of the house, put some flowers in there, because with the drainage, water will just go out of it, which is great. It won't fill up, but it's still going to be something for the flowers. So I'm going to be doing that here over the next couple months, and I'll probably film some of that, show you guys, just keep you up on what I'm doing. So, and it's just some stuff within the house as well, some organization, furniture building and moving and some things. So I've been trying to stay busy, keep myself going with still some physical activity, even though I can't really get to the gym anymore because, as I said, I have no gym membership, and right now financially cannot afford one. So, but yeah, just into cold. Probably at this point the hardest adjustment of the entire weight loss process is I am cold all the damn time, and so I'm just having to consistently move to that. I am now comfortably wearing a size large shirt. It's a large shirt. It was my birthday here about 4 days ago, I want to say 5 days ago, and so I got several shirts for my family for my birthday, and I'm comfortably wearing a large all the time now. I could still wear an X large as well, but large is standardly the size that I wear. 2Xs are just too big at this point. I don't ever see myself getting to a medium. Larges fit comfortably, but I still have some of the excess skin, which still makes me a little pudgy in the belly area and under the arms and such. And, you know, I still got a little bit of, I got some excess skin there. That's probably the most visible spot, is right there. It's just a little bit there. Yeah, still always there. But I do wear the compression shirts still on occasion. If I'm going out somewhere with my wife or we're going up somewhere nice, you know, I still wear those to try to shape up a little bit. Could probably get a smaller one here in the next week or two, because the one I have while working just doesn't feel as snug as I'd like to have it. I'd like it to be a little bit tighter. I'm going to give a large one a try. Plus, I think I want to get a white one. Last one's black. I have a couple lighter colored shirts now, so I think it'd be good to have a white one for under that. So there was that. Food-wise, I haven't really introduced anything new into the diet in the past month. I'm still maintaining the same type of foods that I'm eating. Like I said, just sometimes a little bit more of them. You know, a little bit more. It was my wife's and I 3-year wedding anniversary a couple weeks ago. So we did go out to eat a couple of times during that time period to celebrate that week, because we really couldn't go out on our anniversary. So we went out the week before and the day after. And so we went out eat a couple times there. So I eat out a little bit more than I normally do, which again, not something I necessarily do, and I haven't really eaten out at all since then. But I did eat out a little bit more during that week and a half period of our anniversary. So I really didn't do anything for my birthday. I had to work on my birthday. And unfortunately, just a day or 2 days before my birthday, my wife and I went and saw Deadpool 2, and on the way out, she kind of slipped and fell down the stairs and broke her foot. So that has been another thing that kind of kept me from doing videos. We've been dealing with that. Spent some time at the doctors and hospital and shut and get that taken care of. So it's just a small crack. It's a stress crack. Her foot kind of went under her and it cracked right between the pinky toe and the whatever toe you call that next to the pinky toe. Just a small hairline fracture. So she's got one of them big boot things that she wears for the next 3 to 4 weeks until that heals up. So dealing with that as well, and her being kind of stuck in the house, not being able to drive because it's her right foot. She doesn't really want to try hitting gas and brake with a busted foot for safety for hers and other people's. So she's not really driving at all right now. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to go into at this point. I will be honest, it is difficult to come up with conversations and topics at this point. I know a lot of people tuned in over the last year and a half to watch my progress as I lost weight, and now that I'm pretty much here, other than the occasional products that I find that I think you might benefit from knowing about, I'm running out of things to talk about. And so I'm not sure what other content to start being able to put out there for everyone. So I definitely want to continue to make videos, and I want to continue to entertain, and if not educate. It's just trying to figure out what benefit I can be, because I don't want to put stuff out there that's not going to be helpful. But I did want to jump in and give this little update, because a couple perks I'll talk about real quick before I end this here. Because of all the weight loss, I've mentioned previously that I have psoriasis and eczema, and I take injections for that. So skin condition that causes flare-up, red, splotchy, and flaky kind of spots. I used to have them everywhere. My head and my face and all up and down my arms, big scaly patches and such. And then about 10, 11 years ago, I started seeing a dermatologist, started taking different medications, and we've got it, I'd say 95% under control. The only trouble spots I still have is a small spot in the middle of my back, in my ears, and sometimes my scalp. So because I have lost so much weight, the injections that I get are actually working better now, because there's not as much territory for it to dilute, because it's one size dosage regardless of your size. So being smaller, the medication is more potent because there's less area to cover. So I'm seeing much better results from that. I'm also using a new topical cream, which has completely cleared up my ears and behind my ears for the first time in a decade, if not longer. So that feels really awesome. Right now, just a little bit in my scalp is the only part that I'm still working on, and it's way better. So that's awesome. As a side effect of that, I have had my ears pierced in the past 3 times. One ear 3 times, the other ear 2 times. So I did one ear when I was probably about 13 or 14. Then I got them pierced again when I was around 18, and then I got them again when I was around 30. And because of the psoriasis, they never heal correctly. So to give you an example, if you ever had your ears pierced, you know that for a few days it usually stings and it's sore and it can get infected. Mine were like that a year to year and a half after I got them pierced. They never would heal up. And because I had such fat ass ears, the posts would sometimes just go straight through my ear. So I always had to try and find extended posts or wear hoops. And if you switched to hoops too early, it didn't heal correctly, blah, 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 blah. So it was always a struggle, and I always had to let them grow in. And then I'd get a wild hair and decide to do it again. But I got my ears pierced again for my birthday. It was my gift to myself, because I spoke with my dermatologist. I'm like, hey, stuff seems under control now, and my ears are nowhere as thick as they used to be. Plus, I've always gone to like Claire's or FYE, little jewelry place where they use a punch gun to do it, and it's very traumatic on your ears. From the research I did, it's the same tool that they've been using for 100 years to tag cows. It's really not much of a different tool at that point. So this time I went to a professional piercing place, tattoo and piercing place, and I had it done, and I have no problem. They weren't sore. Within 24 hours, they were fine. In fact, the posts, because my ears are so thin now, the posts are actually a little bit on the long end. They're a little loose in there, which I'm fine with. I have no intention of removing them anytime soon. So that was a nice little thing that I was able to do, and it's working because of the weight loss. So again, small perks, small bonuses. That when I first started this process to lose this weight, I never thought, hey, if I lose this weight, I can get my ear pierced again. It was just never crossed my mind until I got well into it. But it was because of that. My ears were still as fat as they were. And I was as fat as I was. The skin condition wouldn't be as well under control. It would have been much harder on my ears to get them done. So again, finding those small perks and small bonuses, the side effects of the surgery, things you didn't even expect. I expected a lot of great things from losing weight, and pretty much all of them have come true. But it's nice that I still find new surprises, new things that are awesome side effects of going through the process that I hadn't really originally considered. So, that being said, I don't have a whole lot else to go into this week. I'm going to try to have another video here within the next week or two. Probably every 2 weeks is what I'm going to try to stick to doing. But again, if there's something specific you'd like to hear me talk about, something you'd like to go over, if you have questions, God, I'd love some questions, throw them at me. If you have anything at all that you would like to see me cover, it doesn't even have to be about this. Any topic in general. I don't care. Tell me. I'll be happy to talk about it. Hell, I like to talk. But I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and watching the video this week, and everyone who's been following along, everyone who's been patient, waiting for me to get this new video out. It has been a rough month, but I'm kind of got everything back on track now, so you'll start seeing content more often. Got my editing program back and working. Had to re-download and the whole thing, but everything should be up now. So thank you again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to click like, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and we'll see you again later. Have a good week.